Hello, welcome to Gallantry. It is a program that celebrates the heroic exploits of the Nigerian military. I am your host, Godwin Amunde. Today we are shining the spotlight on the bravery and resilience of our armed forces as they tackle threats from Boko Haram elements across the country. Join us as we delve into the heart of the action, showcasing the spectacular exploits of our soldiers in the Northeast, Southeast, and South-South regions. From combating terrorism to curbing oil theft, our military personnel have demonstrated unwavering commitment to protecting Nigerian sovereignty. Some of the remarkable stories we'll be sharing include the Nigerian Army's tireless efforts to combat Boko Haram and other terrorist groups in the Northeast, the military's strategic operations to curb IPOP and Eastern Security Network activities in the Southeast, and the fight against oil theft and pipeline vandalism in the South-South region. A special focus will be on the Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Emmanuel Ikechukwu Ogala, at the 5th Sea Power for African Symposium in Cape Town, South Africa. We will pay tribute to a gallant naval officer who sacrificed his own life to save 59 personnel from drowning among other fallen heroes. These stories and more will be coming on Gallantry. Stay tuned. Gallantry, the heroic exploit of the Nigerian military. It is a captivating television program that delves into the diverse and often unseen operations of the Nigerian Military Task Force, GTF, across the country's 6 geopolitical zones. Each episode will embark on a captivating journey, exploring a specific JTF operation within a unique zone. Viewers will be immersed in the heart of the action, witnessing firsthand the challenges, strategies, and triumphs of the Nigerian military as they tackle pressing security concerns in their respective regions. Join me every Saturday at 3 p.m. on Rapid Television, channel 176 on the Star Times decoder for an interesting expository package.
I am Major General Edward Buba, the Director Defense Media Operations at Defense Headquarters. For more on our activities, stay tuned to Gallantry on Rapid Television.
You can as well follow us on all our social media handles. You're welcome back. Get ready for inspiring stories of gallantry, sacrifice, and patriotism. We will take you to the front lines where our heroes are making a difference as we join Major General Edward Buba, Director of Defense Media Operations at the Defense Headquarters, for the bi-weekly press briefing on troops' operational activities across various regions.
I'd like to start by saying that our ongoing counter-terrorism and counter-insurgency operations across the country has dealt significant blow on the terrorist capabilities. Indeed, our operations have denied the terrorists from accomplishing their strategic objectives. Also, our troops are not relenting, but continue to find innovative solutions to the challenges faced in the conduct of our operations across the country. I would like to state that we retain operational flexibility, and indeed our operations are yielding significant outcomes. For instance, in the Southeast, the troops of Operation Udoka, Forward Operational Base Osu, in a sting operation, apprehended a terrorist leader belonging to the indigenous people of Biafra and the Eastern Security Network terrorist group, known as Mr. Pius Igu. He is an indigenous people of Biafra terrorist founding father responsible for Osu General Area in Imo State. Also in a separate development, troops of Forward Operational Base Amaruku conducted a raid on an indigenous people of Biafra terrorist group commander's location. The raid was successful and led to the arrest of the commander, identified as Emmanuel Onwugu, in Imbanu, local government area of Abia State. Also in another development, the troops of Operation Udoka conducted a combined operation with security forces that led to the arrest of a notorious cult leader named Ifeanyi Rock and 10 of his combatants in Arutuku local government area of Abia State. Meanwhile, looking at the various theaters of operations, during the week under review, troops neutralized 140 terrorists and arrested 135 of them, thereby destroying their fighting capabilities and weakening their military capabilities as well. Troops of Operation Hadinkai recorded the following activities during the period. Troops recorded the surrendering of repentant terrorists and their combatants together with their families. Troops also arrested terrorist collaborators and informants at the following locations: Mungunu, Konduga, Biu, local government areas, all in Borno State. Similarly, same was recorded in Madagali and Gaidam local government areas of Adamawa and Yobe states. Additionally, troops conducted offensive operations in Kukawa, Konduga, Kaga, Goza, and Bama local government areas, all in Borno State, as well as Gujba, Damaturu, and Busari local government areas of Yobe State. Overall, the troops of Operation Hadinkai neutralized 43 terrorists during the week, arrested 27 of them, and rescued 25 kidnapped hostages in the course of operations this week. Troops also recovered 23 AK-47 rifles and 155 rounds of 7.62 millimeter NATO ammunition, among other items recovered in the course of operations by troops of Operation Hadinkai this week. The North Central, where we have Operation Safe Haven, the troops of Operation Safe Haven recorded the following during the week under review. The troops intercepted and arrested violent extremists and kidnappers in Barkin Ladi, Jos South, Rion, Basa, and Wase local government areas of Plateau State. The troops also conducted counter and anti-kidnapping operations in Sanga and Kaura local government areas of Kaduna State. Troops further responded to similar reports in Panshin, Barkin Ladi, and Jos South local government areas of Plateau State. Equally, troops conducted offensive operations in Rion, Mangu, and Wase local government areas of Plateau State. Overall, the troops of Operation Safe Haven neutralized 14 violent extremists, arrested 45 of them, and rescued 12 kidnapped hostages in the course of their operations. Troops also recovered 7 AK-47 rifles and over 500 rounds of 7.62mm special ammunition, among other items recovered in the course of operations during the week. Operation Wild Stroke. The troops of Operation Wild Stroke recorded the following during the period under review. The troops intercepted and arrested violent extremists in Lao, Ardo, Kola, Jalingo, and Gasol, local government areas of Taraba State. Similar operations were also conducted in Katsina Allah and Kefi local government areas of Benue and Nasarawa states, respectively. Troops also conducted offensive operations in Ukum and Logo, local government areas of Benue State. Furthermore, troops conducted counter and anti-kidnapping operations in Ukum, local government area of Benue State. Overall, the troops of Operation Wild Stroke neutralized 7 terrorists, arrested 16 of them, and rescued 12 kidnapped hostages in the course of their operations this week. To the northwest, where we have Operation Hadarin Daji. The troops of Operation Hadarin Daji recorded the following in the course of their operations during the week. The troops responded to information on terrorist activities in Maru and Safi, local government areas of Zamfara State, as well as Sabon Birni local government area of Sokoto State. The troops conducted counter and anti-kidnapping operations in Faskari and Malumfashi local government areas of Katsina State, as well as Kontagora and Kibi local government area of Niger and Sokoto states, respectively. Additionally, the troops conducted offensive operations in Jibia, Kankara, and Dandume, local government area of Katsina State, as well as Igabi and Kaura Namuda, local government areas of Kaduna and Zamfara states, respectively. Overall, the troops of Operation Hadarin Daji neutralized 62 terrorists, arrested 29 of them, and rescued 9 kidnapped hostages in the course of their operations during the week. The troops also recovered 85 AK-47 rifles and over 600 rounds of 7.62mm NATO ammunition, among other items recovered in the course of operations this week. Northwest is Operation Wild Punch. The troops of Operation Wild Punch recorded the following in the course of their operations this week. The troops arrested suspected violent extremists and terrorists in Kaba Bunnu and Oshokoshoko and Lokoja local government areas of Kogi State. Troops also conducted counter and anti-kidnapping operations in Kuje area council of the Federal Capital Territory here in Abuja. Overall, the troops of Operation Wild Punch neutralized 3 terrorists, arrested 36 of them, and rescued 12 kidnapped hostages in the course of their operations this week. The troops also recovered 3 AK-47 rifles, 2 fabricated rifles, and over 40 rounds of 7.62mm NATO ammunition, among other items recovered. Operation Delta Safe. The troops of Operation Delta Safe maintained the momentum against the activities of crude oil theft. The troops destroyed several illegal refining sites and recovered stolen products. The Troops also arrested violent extremists and conducted counter anti-kidnapping operations in Oredo, Ovia, Southwest, and Owan West local government areas of Edo State, as well as Oshimili South local government area of Delta State. Overall, the troops of Operation Delta Safe recovered over 1.1 million liters of stolen crude oil and over 550,000 liters of illegally refined AGO, popularly known as diesel. Additionally, the troops of Operation Delta Safe discovered and destroyed 33 crude oil cooking ovens, 19 dugout pits destroyed, recovered 41 boats, and destroyed 47 illegal refining sites in the course of their operations this week. Other items recovered include 3 vehicles. Troops also rescued 4 kidnapped hostages and apprehended 28 persons involved in the perpetration of crude oil theft. Troops also recovered 22 arms and 55 assorted ammunition in the course of operations this week. The troops of Operation Udoka recorded the following in the course of their operations this week. The troops conducted offensive operations in Osu and Ububra local government areas of Imo and Cross River states, respectively. The troops also made contact with the indigenous people of Biafra and their Eastern Security Network terrorist group in Arochukwu local government area of Abia State. Troops conducted sting operations and arrested indigenous people of Biafra and their Eastern Security Network terrorist cohorts in Imbanu, Oguta, and also local government areas of Imo State, as well as Indinu local government area of Enugu State. Overall, the troops of Operation Udoka neutralized 24 terrorists, arrested 12 of them, and rescued 1 hostage in the course of their operations this week. The troops also recovered 10 AK-47 rifles, 15 pump-action guns, and over 150 rounds of 7.62 millimeter special ammunition, among other items recovered in the course of operations this week. Meanwhile, I will say that all recovered items, arrested persons, and rescued hostages have been handed over to relevant authorities for further action, and this also includes prosecution. I will say that troops are staying true to the cause of victory, at the end of which we shall prevail over the terrorists and the perpetrators of insecurity in our country. I want to be unequivocally clear that we will defeat and destroy these terrorists and create a safer environment for our citizens. On the whole, we must never give terrorism any oxygen to thrive in our country, and this I urge citizens.
We just saw comments from former lawmaker Sami Show making reference to the comment by the MSA that arms proliferation get to the hands of those who should not be handling them as a result of shady activities of security forces. I don't know if you like to.
The Chief of Defense Staff was given the marching orders by Mr. President to ensure that the crude oil production, the daily crude oil production for the country is ramped up. Accordingly, a unified command was established in the Niger Delta area, and the Unified Command ensured that all the security agencies were working together to achieve a common objective. I'm pleased to inform you that since when that directive was given and the command was established, there has been significant increase in the nation's daily crude oil production. At the time that the instructions were given, at that time, the daily crude oil production was around 1.1, 1.2. But today, we are talking about 1.7, getting close to 1.8. And I can assure you that we will increasingly make progress as we get towards the end of the year. That is that about our operations in the Niger Delta region. Next, to your question about the proliferation of arms within our country and the allegation that some of those arms are from security forces. This is what I can tell you about. When we talk about proliferation of arms, first you have to look at what happened in Libya years ago, in the Sahel. Now, this gave opportunity for arms to get into wrong hands and then filtered into our country, which worsened the issue of insurgency and terrorism that we were faced with in the country. That part of the ways insurgents and terrorists get arms is to attack security forces and take arms from them. This is textbook, meaning that it is proven all over the world. So if it has happened here in Nigeria, it is not a surprise, as we have seen that several of our troops have been ambushed or killed and their arms taken. But what we have done is that in every of such instance, we have made the terrorists to pay a greater price than we have been forced to pay in such circumstances.
Welcome to the segment where we showcase our gallant soldiers who are tirelessly working on the ground to dismantle enemy strongholds. While the Air Force is taking the fight to the enemy's doorstep through precision airstrikes, the Navy is safeguarding our coastal borders, combating piracy and oil theft, ensuring the nation's economic lifelines remain secure. On Tuesday, 15th October 2024, the Nigerian Chief of Naval Staff, CNS, Vice Admiral Emmanuel Ikechukwu Ogala, delivered the closing remarks at the 5th Sea Power for African Symposium in Cape Town, South Africa. In his remarks, he stated that the African nations are collectively striving to secure her expansive maritime environment, which hold immense economic potential. Let's take a look.
The South African Navy, and indeed all the African navies and Nigerian Navy, share a symbiotic relationship that spans decades, built on a shared commitment for regional peace and security. It is an honor to make these closing remarks, particularly on today's topic, which is non-traditional maritime security challenges, threats in the African maritime domain, as it affects the theme of this year's Sea Power for Africa Symposium, which is Good Order at Sea in the African maritime domain. As African nations, we are collectively striving to secure our expansive maritime environments, which hold immense economic potential. The African maritime domain holds enormous resources, including hydrocarbons and fisheries, as well as also is a medium of transport. It also has the capacity to create jobs across the continent, which is key to Africa's exiting the poverty domain. Of course, the Africa Integrated Maritime Strategy aims to foster wealth creation through the development of an ocean economy within a secured maritime domain, and this vision aligns with the African Continental Free Trade Agreement, which is projected to increase intra-African freight by 28% in the near future. A substantial portion of global trade passes through African waters, contributing over 20% of national revenues for some countries in Africa. However, our waters and the economic activities within them face a range of non-traditional threats, posing challenges to regional security. Maritime security threats often stem from the activities of non-state actors and organized criminal networks engaged in illegal exploitation of natural resources for financial gains. These groups exploit socio-economic vulnerabilities, including poverty and gaps in maritime law enforcement within our countries. As a result, African nations contend with a diverse challenges such as piracy, sea robbery, proliferation of small arms and light weapons, illegal, unreported and unregulated fishing, human trafficking, pollution, among others. The repercussions of these activities are far-reaching, manifesting in increased shipping costs, trade disruptions, and economic instability. In order to address these transnational maritime crimes, to maximize the economic potentials inherent in Africa's maritime domain, a collective approach involving navies and coast guards of the continent is required. It is therefore crucial that our security architecture is strengthened in this regard. The Sea Power for Africa Symposium is a vital platform for these efforts, as it offers a forum for the African heads of navies and relevant stakeholders to collaborate in addressing non-traditional maritime threats through enhanced regional cooperation, capacity building initiatives, and international partnerships. Through this collaborative framework, we can deepen our capabilities for information sharing, coordination of law enforcement activities, and optimize use of resources. It enables also to enhance sharing of best practices through joint maritime security exercises, partnerships.
Welcome back to this very special segment where we pay tribute to a gallant officer. On the 3rd July 2024, the Nigerian Navy received a distress call from MV Ambika 4, a dredging vessel working at Okpobo Field, contracted to Sterling Global Oil Limited. It was reported that the vessel at the risk of sinking near Okpobo River entrance, an area known to be turbulent at this time of the year. Accordingly, Nigerian Navy Forward Operating Base, Bonny, deployed a rescue team comprising 10 armed personnel in 2 interceptor boats led by the base operations officer, Lieutenant Commander Gideon Yashim Gwaza, for the rescue operation. Attempts to approach the distressed vessel proved challenging due to the force of the waves, and another squadron of 3 boats was dispatched, reinforced the rescue team. Additionally, another vessel, Nigerian Navy ship, Gongola, drones, Nigerian Navy helicopters, and one Nigerian Air Force helicopter were deployed for the search and rescue mission. Eventually, all 59 crew were rescued successfully, but the base operations officer, Lieutenant Commander Gideon Yashim Gwaza, paid the supreme price. He fell on board accidentally during the rescue operation, which lasted for about 10 hours from midnight of 29 July 2024 to 1000 hours on 30th July 2024. The Nigerian Navy deeply mourns the loss of Lieutenant Commander Gideon Yashim Gwaza, who bravely risked his life to save others. Lieutenant Commander Gwaza was a well-trained combat diver whose painful death reflects the risks and sacrifices of Nigerian Navy personnel towards the safety of Nigeria's maritime domain. His dedication and sacrifice will forever be remembered, a special tribute to a gallant officer, Lieutenant Commander Gideon Yashim Gwaza.
You lose your men as a commander. Those are part of the worst challenges for any commander. I've lost a couple of men, and when you have to meet their families to explain to them where the breadwinners have gone, it's really one of the worst things that could happen to any commander. But I'm happy that people have understood that we're fighting a war, and we win some, we lose some, and that has helped us in Gui. So we've continued to intensify our training in order to make sure that our men and them to make sure that they have protective gears that will protect them from being killed. But since it is war, definitely some days you lose some people.
And every day, the Nigerian military stands vigilant, safeguarding our nation's territory and protecting its people. These brave men and women have families who anxiously await their safe return, praying that they won't make the ultimate price on the battlefield. But we must acknowledge the harsh reality of war. Casualties are inevitable, and sometimes the supreme price is paid. Despite this, our military remains steadfast. That's why your support is crucial. If you see something, say something. Your vigilance empowers the military to confront our enemies with unwavering strength. Thank you for joining me on Gallantry. Until next week, same time, same station. Stay safe and proud. I am Godwin Amunde. Bye for now.